You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. I have a smudge on my glasses today. So, Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm all right. How are you? Well, other than the fact that you can't see.
Yeah, well, I'm all right. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. We spent it together.
That's right. We did. It
was very nice.
But then you spent the rest of the weekend alone.
Alone?
Well, you came over for leftovers.
And I took a bunch of leftovers home.
Good. Delicious, right?
It took a few days to get through them, but yeah.
I had 3 days of turkey. Holy shit. Yeah.
It was nice.
I feel like so much salt is in my system. I'm just puffy, swollen, ulcerous.
You know, it was fun. I made sliders. So like took Hawaiian rolls and just like mashed potatoes, stuffing, and cranberry and turkey.
How many people are getting hungry right now?
It's delicious.
My favorite is a heated turkey stuffing. And then when it comes out, a sandwich, then you put in cold cranberry.
Yep.
On top of it.
Yep,
and it is delicious. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're still liking the show and enjoying it, if you're here for Nathan Mitchell, who I love dearly, and you actually do like the podcast, I hope you'll subscribe and listen to some others. And if you want to join Patreon and support this podcast, we need you. The whole reason we're still functioning is because of the Patreon following. My patrons are awesome. And if you want to join and help the show out, every little bit counts. Patreon.com/inside of you. So there's that. A few other things. You can go to my Instagram link at the Michael Rosenbaum, and Cruiseville tickets are available, Ryan.
Oh boy.
For the Smallville cruise. Oh my God.
Boy.
Yeah, Tom Welling's going. I'm going. Vandervoort's going. Erica Durant's. It's going to be a lot of fun. John Glover. And there are excursions. You can go like do an excursion with me, swimming with pigs. There's one where it's a tequila mixology. I think Tom and I are doing that together. There's a Smallville Nights. There's so much. There's Cabana with me. There's like all these things you can get. And go to cruiseville.com. And that's going to be a blast. Also in Chicago, next September, Creation is putting on a Smallville Con like we did in New Jersey, right? Where you went. Mm-hmm. So you'll have to go to that too.
Yes.
That was a blast. So look on my link tree for the Creation. It should be there. If not, go to creation.com, get tickets for that. And a few more things. My book, The Talented Farter, is available on Amazon. Please get it. It's great for the holidays. It's such a fun book. It's a sound book. They're my farts. It's a story about a little boy whose only talent is farting. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it in Barnes & Noble. Simon & Schuster put it out. I love it, and I hope you get that. And last but not least, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath for your dog's breath. It's awesome, and it's available on Amazon. And just put drops in your dog's water, and that's it. And the Inside of You online store, go there for tumblers and Lexmas scripts and Smallville ship keys and tons of stuff. Our guest today is Nathan Mitchell from The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really enjoyed talking to him. We met in Toronto, and I was like, I like this guy. Then he came over to one of my gatherings, and finally we got around to having him on the podcast. Mm-hmm. He was cool as hell, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, he was. He's just like got a good outlook on things.
He's a very positive dude.
He's a positive dude. And I love his stories. I love getting into it. So let's just get into it. Let's get inside of Nathan Mitchell.
It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Well, what's funny is we met at an autograph signing, and you hadn't done a lot.
No, that was like my third or fourth one, maybe.
Do you get nervous around that when you first like, what is this going to be like? What can I expect?
Think back to my first time. Honestly, it was pretty chill. You know, people are nice, people are cool. You know, they come up, they're like, I love the show, I love your character, and you talk. It's, you know what? It's really fulfilling. Because when you're doing a show nowadays, like everything, all the feedback you get is through your phone or through a computer, right?
Yeah.
And so when people come up to you in real life and they give you their experience of the show, like it's like the closest thing to coming out of a theater.
Like doing theater, like coming out and people saying, oh my God, I loved your, like you're getting, it's like, it's there, it's tangible, it's real. It's not just like you say on an Instagram, I love your character. You're like, it's great. But when you see people and see how it affects them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does. Was this the first? I mean, you've done a lot of stuff. You've done Psych and Supernatural and Arrow and what else? Ginny and Georgia?
Yeah.
Which is going on now.
Yeah. Yeah. We just finished filming.
So we'll talk about all that. But like, you've done a lot of stuff, but was this, you must have been recognized from this other stuff.
Not really.
No?
No, like Ginny and Georgia, yes. But outside of like hardcore boys fans will recognize me sometimes, like before season 4. Right.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it was chill.
But the cons, do you ever get people who are emotional?
I feel like that's happened sometimes. Not a lot.
How do you deal with it?
It's like, you know what? I don't think anyone's gotten that emotional where I've had to ask myself, like, how do I deal with this?
I love you so much.
Let me just give him a hug.
Just give him a hug. See, I do that too. I just give him a hug. Let's just hug it out.
Yeah.
Hug it out. It's
that's
all
the way
good.
to solve the world's problems, right?
Kindness.
Yeah.
Did you always want to act?
Kind of, yes. Actually, I was just talking about this last night. So initially, when I was 6, I wanted to be a sharkeologist, which is not a real word. Like,
but that's what, as a kid, you're like, I want to be a sharkeologist.
That's it, right?
What's the real word? A marine biologist?
I don't fucking know.
What's the study of sharks, Ryan? Can you look it up? Study of sharks?
Yeah.
Maybe it is a sharkeologist.
It should be. That's a cooler name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably something to do with like the Latin word for shark.
Which is,
I don't know.
I'm thinking like fin. No, that doesn't make sense.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ryan?
It just says shark biologist, which
that's fucking boring.
But you're close.
I was close.
Sharkeologist, shark biologist.
I feel like we should go with mine. I think
sharkeologist is good.
It.
So you wanted to do that. So you loved marine life. You loved sharks.
There was a show called Street Sharks back in the day, and I loved it. And that's how I got into sharks. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. And later on, I pivoted to basketball, right? So I loved basketball.
Were you good?
I was getting good.
Like where? You played high school ball?
Played high school. I played like rep, which is like for the city.
Right.
And then...
Were you known?
No, I wasn't
like Nate Mitchell, man.
Not that good.
No.
But I was good on my team. And I was really good at defense.
Team player.
Yes. And it was this thing where like I would, like after the summer of grade 9, I practiced like 3 hours a day or during the summer, and going into grade 10, like I was starting to get better. And like there was the possibility of me going on to the regional team, which is like one level under provincials. And then we got to our like final tournament and I broke my ankle.
That was it.
It wasn't it, but it forced me to take the summer off. So in taking that summer off, like I slowed down and I got to spend time with my friends. And I thought to myself, like, I want to have the experience of just being, a teenager who hangs out with his friends, not, just playing basketball all the time.
Right. You wanted to connect and just live and be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
it.
Is that when during that summer? Is that when the acting bug came?
Yeah, so I was at a arts high school called Cawthor Park Secondary School. And so I would do drama. We did drama like an hour a day. Right. So I was already doing that. But in grade 9 and 10, it was just like you get on stage, you make people laugh, you have fun. Like that's all it was to me. And in grade 11, I started thinking to myself, like, if I take this seriously, if I like really commit to this, I could get a lot out of this. Right. And so I did, and it got more and more fulfilling. And then in grade 12, I was doing this monologue and I was stomping on the floor. And I had this like image come into my mind, right? And now like people see images in their mind. It's not a big thing, but there's this thing called fantasia, which is like the spectrum of how vivid images are to you. And generally the images in my mind are rather faint unless I put a lot of effort into it.
So not vivid, they're just kind of faint. They just kind of come and go and just kind of like you don't think about them a lot.
No, and like honestly, they don't even come that often. Like I have to like try. Usually my mind is like empty. It's blank, right? Yeah.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to be, right?
Yeah.
And during this monologue, this image of this coral reef that was teeming with life. There were like fishes and like turtles, and it was light blue, and I was like there. And I had this feeling like if I explore acting, I'll get to explore the world of myself. And from that moment, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do.
So you want to get to know yourself more, and you wanted all these things that were faint to be more vivid and come up in your imagination to be fuller and to That's really cool that you thought that. Now, what did your parents say? You grew up, you had parents, lovable parents, loving parents?
Yeah, they're great.
They're still around?
Yeah, they are.
And they supported this? When you said, I want to be an actor?
They did. They did. You know,
what?
I think there are a few levels to it. I think they knew I wasn't going to do anything I didn't want to do. You know, like my heart had to be in something to do it. Like otherwise I would just like fuck off and be like,
Yeah.
You know, and they just wanted me to go to university, have a backup plan. And so I did that. And outside of that, there were, you know, it was my mom who encouraged me to go to acting camps as a kid. Like I like to entertain my sisters when I was a kid and
do
like,
impressions.
Yeah.
Do you still do
like that.
Do you do impressions?
No, not really.
No. You can't do one.
I honestly, man,
do Jensen Ackles. You just have to do
gonna be bad.
Just kind of.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
yeah,
listen.
I'm Batman.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm Jensen Ackles. I don't know if you wanna. You have to look really hot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, great guy.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah. So you got the acting bug. You're in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when did you think, was there a moment where you thought, I'm pretty good, or people around you thought you were good, or your mentor or your teacher or somebody that, because you need that. You need that to kind of go to the next step. If you don't either believe in yourself or somebody believes in you, it's tough.
Yeah. You know, I think I got the belief just from the practice of being in drama class every day and just doing it. You know,
you could tell your drama class teacher, your drama teacher, like said, you know, you're good. You got that feeling?
You know, I don't know if anyone ever really was like, hey, you can do this. You know, for me, it was just more like, I want to do this. Like, I care about this.
See, that's crazy to me because it's like, that is having so much belief in yourself and saying, this is what I want. This is what I love. This is what I want to do. And in a way, fuck everyone else. Like, not fuck it, but I don't care if somebody says you're great or you're good. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't really hear that much. That's brave. Because if you don't know you're good at something and you're going into it and maybe you're just not aware and people are like, what is he doing? What is he doing? I'm sure people
like,
said that
buddy,
about
you
me.
Me to take a step back.
But you liked it. You enjoyed it. You worked hard.
Yeah.
You had a good work ethic.
Yeah.
When did you get your first agent?
It was 2006. So 2006, I was doing like an extra semester of high school, you know, because once we hit grade 11, we had the option to take a spare. You know, so you have 4 courses a day, and we got the option to do 3. And I had my first spare, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking sick. Like, I can go to the library, I can take a nap, I can chill. And so I was like, I'm gonna have I decided to give myself an easier grade 11 and 12. And my guidance counselor was like, you know, like, if you do this, you're gonna have to graduate like a semester later than your friends.
You didn't care?
No, I'm like, that's fine. My friends were like stressing out doing like math, science.
You're like, I'm gonna take my time.
Yeah.
That's what I did with college. I was supposed to graduate in 4 years. And then I was like, nah, it's not happening.
No.
I think maybe I should take another semester. And the last semester was only like 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
You know, 4 classes.
Yeah.
And so it was easier because otherwise I would have had to compact it into that. And I probably would have failed. But anyway, so it was some extra semester.
Yeah.
And what happened? How'd you get the agent?
So I think it was, so I like technically graduated in 2006. And
you're young. God.
I mean, bro, you look like you're in your 40s.
Thank you,
like,
man.
Bro, like seriously.
I'm not paying you again.
You're not.
Are you
sure?
I'm not paying you.
You look great.
I look like
you look 38.
All right.
Look 38.
I'll take 30 with makeup. Okay. Maybe 38. Maybe 40.
No, you could do 38 without makeup.
With makeup.
Without makeup. I'm saying without makeup.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But go back to you.
Yeah.
So the agent.
Yeah. So I think summer of 2006, I was like getting headshots. And I think it was September 2006, I got my agent. Yeah.
And they started sending you out.
Yeah.
And what was your first? Were you getting feedback like, hey, you got to work on this more, you got to do this? Was your agent kind of like, you're green?
My agent was like, I see potential. And later on, I was like, oh yeah, I was not good.
But you get better. I mean, if I looked at myself many years ago, I knew I had raw, like really good instincts.
Yeah.
But I needed to work on those things to get more believable and learn how to act, learn how to be in front of the camera, learn how to let go. And I'm still learning. It's an ongoing process. Inside of You is brought to you by Qualia Mind. Guys, this stuff works. It works so well. I sent my mom this stuff, and she loves it. She can't live without it. I started using this product before they were a sponsor, as I've talked about. Our sponsor, Qualia, combines 28 of the most research-backed nootropic ingredients on Earth into the ultimate brain fuel formula, Qualia Mind, and it's been changing people's lives for years now. The formula is non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free. The ingredients are meant to complement one another, factoring in each ingredient's effect on helping to support mental clarity. I'm telling you, my mom is so much sharper. She tells me this. She goes, I don't know. I'm just clear-headed. I'm my focus, and that's how I felt before they became a sponsor. Qualia Mind. It's also backed by a 100-day money-back guarantee, so you have almost 3 months to try Qualia Mind at no financial risk and decide for yourself.
But what makes the Qualia brand unique? It has fully transparent formulas,
science-backed formulas backed with hundreds of research citations,
powerful results, thousands of real life-changing reviews over 6 years and counting. Just read the website.
100-day money-back guarantee, zero financial risk to try any Qualia formula. But I just, I feel when I take Qualia Mind tasks, I notice that I have more focus when I'm trying to complete tasks. My memory is better. Motivation. It just seems like there's just something different, something really positive about it. See what the best brain fuel formula on earth can do for your mindset. Go to qualialife.com/IOU for up to $100 off Qualia Mind. And as a listener of Inside of You, use code IOU at checkout for an additional 15% off any purchase. For your convenience, Qualia Mind is also available at select GNC locations near you. That's qualialife.com/IOU and use code IOU for an additional 15% off to experience life-changing mental performance from Qualia Mind. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Inside of You is brought to you by Shopify. God, my good friends at Shopify, Ryan.
Yay.
I love Shopify. I've been using Shopify since I started this whole business. Doing podcasts, you have products to sell. And I don't know anywhere else to go besides Shopify. I've been using. It's so simple to use. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 15%.
And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%.
Meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going cha-ching. Look, Shopify is so easy to use. For instance, I got these new tumblers for Inside of You. And it's one page. I say, add product. And I upload a picture. And then I put a price. And then I put a description. And I make it active. And that's it. And I'm ready to go. It's so easy. And you could be selling products like that. If you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between.
Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/inside, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/inside to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/inside. So you're working, and what was the first one you got?
So the first, I did a commercial, but the first project I got was a show called Aliens in America.
Aliens in America. I've heard of Aliens in America.
Oh, it's a good show.
Yeah.
I'll go back.
You got a recurring or like just
three episodes.
How nervous were you getting your first recurring role?
Yeah, I probably was nervous, but I don't remember nerves being a defining part of that experience.
You just wanted to be good.
Yeah, and honestly, the first episode was just like I was at the dinner table. and I was at the dinner table, and I just had to like look at my girlfriend and smile.
No lines.
No, so that made the first episode easier. And I don't know what I was doing, but I was like looking at my girlfriend smiling, and I got a note, and they're like, "It's not that type of show." And I was like, "What? What am I? Okay,
Wait, you don't have any lines, and you got a note. No lines, but he's like, "Hey, you didn't say anything, but the look you gave wasn't good.
It's too much.
It's not what we're doing." You thought you were gonna get fired?
No. It was probably like an intimate look.
But then you
like,
had lines in the second and third.
Yeah.
Now, was this a good paying job?
I mean, yeah, like
For someone who hadn't made money acting.
yeah. You know, someone who's just about to go to university. Yeah, it was great. It was like the typical scale rate. You do a day here, you do 3 or 4 days
And
there.
your parents were probably really excited about this. This was like, hey, you're a working actor.
Yeah. And it was out in Vancouver, and I was in Toronto, and so that's how Vancouver came on my radar,
Right.
But also I think in terms of confidence, I think that job gave me confidence because it was this validation of like, you belong, you can do this, because it's hard as an actor when you're auditioning and you feel like you're talented or you believe in yourself, but you don't see the feedback from the outside world. And, I think you have to give that to yourself. But when you do get it, it's like, okay, cool. I belong. I can play at this level.
Yeah. Did you get anxiety? Did you ever have like shit like that? Did you ever deal with depression or anxiety or not really?
Not really.
Never did. Still haven't. No anxiety attack. Never had an anxiety attack.
No.
Never
No.
felt depressed. Sad,
sad, yeah. But I think for me, not in like
sad whether it's a breakup or something like that, but never like I can't motivate myself to get up in the morning. I can't, you've never had issues like that.
Luckily, no.
Do you think that has to do with how you were raised and a good home, good environment mixed in with believing yourself, having people believe in you? Do you think that's a big part of it? You're product of your own environment?
Yeah, I think my parents have given me an amazing foundation, and so yeah, that's a big part of it. I also did Taekwondo, from when I was 6.
Wow.
And just
you still do it?
No, I want to get back in, but it's been a while. It's been like I stopped.
And it's
when I was
been
like
a
7.
while
What song is that?
since I first.
It's your song.
Oh no.
Okay.
Who is that?
Stained.
Stain.
Oh,
Stain.
Okay.
Stained.
Stain. They're called
Stained.
Stain.
Yeah.
D without an E.
We'll move on.
All right. Fair.
Well, you've done all these characters, so from that things
Yeah.
started clicking and you started getting work.
So after my first show, that was Aliens in America, I didn't work for 3 years.
And you thought it was something about your performance?
honestly, no.
You don't get down on yourself. You're an enigma.
Not like I like for me personally, like I have a very high standard for myself personally when it comes to my work. So like I can be hard on myself in regards to my work, and yeah, I've gotten down on myself.
Have you ever been fired?
No, luckily no.
Were you ever close to getting fired? Or
I
like
don't-
that?
I
Like
don't-
it? No,
I don't think so.
You're always on time for work.
Yeah,
You always know your lines.
yeah, I know my lines.
You're always
You got
easy
it.
to work with.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
ever
yeah.
put up a fight.
No, I mean like
If you don't
No.
believe in something, you fight for it.
yeah, but like there's different kinds of fighting. There's like constructive fighting, being like, hey, let's have a conversation and see how we can make this the best it
Right,
can be.
right.
And then there's like unnecessary stuff, right?
You ever work with assholes?
I don't think so.
You will.
I think
You
probably,
will.
I probably will.
You
know?
will. I'm sure you've seen some attitude on set before, where it's just like, no, come on, what are we doing here?
There are a couple people who I was like, wow.
You didn't think they'd be like that.
I did not, and I'm like, I do not want to work with that person again. But
So
again,
so you did see it. You did see that.
Yeah, I would.
You're like, I don't really want to work with that guy or
Yeah.
that girl.
yeah, and I think honestly, it wasn't there's like a couple days with someone here or there. It wasn't, not a long thing.
Right. It was just a little enough for you to see, like, there's something going on with this
And
person.
I'm like, best of luck, but like,
This isn't fun.
yeah,
It creates a tense environment.
in those scenarios, it wasn't a tense environment. It was just distracting.
Right. Who was it?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, I know you know what to say. But
Yeah.
like when you go and do Arrow,
Yeah.
how many episodes you do?
That was 2 episodes.
2 episodes. You work with Justin Hartley. No, it wasn't just Harley. It was Steven. Steven Amell.
Yeah.
Now, Steven, Steven's been on the podcast a lot of times. And what season was that?
That was, I think it was, what season? How many seasons did Arrow go?
A lot. A lot.
I don't remember.
Was it early?
It was, I feel like it might have been season 3.
Season 3. Now, he talks about how he was tense. He was leading a show. He was doing all this. So he was like, I could have come across as, a little intense and not, and, he's worked on himself and this and that. And was he nice to you?
Yeah, he was actually.
He was,
yeah. I didn't, we had a couple scenes. I didn't have a lot of interaction with him, but I remember when I met him, he was super cool. He's like, hey, welcome to the set. Good vibes.
Oh, nice.
I'm good friends with David Ramsey.
Yeah.
Who played Diggle.
David Ramsey, sure.
Good.
And he directed some.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And so I'd see Steven at, some birthday parties here and there, and I'd see him around,
Were you hoping that that little time on Arrow would have extended, would have been a little longer for you?
Yeah, I mean, Arrow, that job was
difficult.
It was for me personally, right?
Why?
So I was going through a breakup at the time, and I was usually
depressed, maybe
I would, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
You got me.
See,
right?
It happens.
It does
to everyone.
So typically, you get your role and you're preparing and you're doing all this stuff, and I was just in my trailer and I was just like, ugh, and I remember doing the scene. And it didn't feel quite right. And I'm like, I don't think I'm getting this. I don't think this is it. Are you sure? And I kept getting the note of no, it's
you were
great.
getting in the way. Your mind, wasn't it?
Oh no, I think I was right. So I was like, I just heard no, it's good, it's great, it's gonna be fantastic. And I remember getting into ADR and being like, oh, wow. All right.
Not good.
I wanted to apologize to the producers over the phone. I was like, oof.
They didn't think it was bad?
I mean, I don't know, but
you knew it was bad.
For me, it wasn't what I wanted to do, right?
And you knew because it was on that day that how you felt, you remembered.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like we need to shift in a bit of a different direction, right? Yeah, so did it. And for me, that was the biggest thing I had done at the time, right? And you
felt like you let yourself down.
Yeah. That I was hard on myself.
Did you sort of think, I'm not going to let my emotions get in the way ever of my work?
What that told me, or what that taught me, is that I really needed a process, a technique that I could rely on. No matter what I'm feeling. And I think I don't know if this is a universal experience, but especially. Say if you're not in a place where you're actually, sometimes when you're on a series or whatever, but sometimes you get a role or you get a big thing and it's accompanied by a big life event. And so the two things are happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, no one ever told me that in acting class. No one warned me about this. No one gave you any type of heads up. And so you have to be ready to deliver and produce rain or shine.
Nobody said it was easy. Who's that? Coldplay.
Oh yeah.
See, Ryan's here for.
Now you're making me think of Smallville when Coldplay was in Smallville.
Yes, yeah. You were a Smallville fan,
bro. I fucking love Smallville.
I dude, and it's funny. You come in here, Ryan. He comes in here and he goes, "Is that a Smallville lunchbox?" I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "You want one?" He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I think that is so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Like a fellow actor, a peer that liked Smallville. What did you watch all of it?
I watched up until I think around season 7.
When I left.
When you left. I came back. I watched the finale because I knew you were gonna be in the finale.
Yes.
So for me, I had seen Smallville on TV occasionally here and there, during the first 3 seasons. I remember season 4. I just happened to turn on the TV, and I was flipping through the channels, and it was the scene where it's beginning of season 4. Tom is like, Clark Kent is dead, and Martha's like, I want my son back. Give me my son back. And he goes and he flies, and I was like, that is badass, right?
So you were in.
I was in. I was in. So
I love that,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Were you a superhero fan?
I was.
As a kid?
I was.
So
yeah.
now as a kid, you love this stuff. And now you're in Arrow.
Yeah.
You watch Smallville, then you do Arrow. Now you're in The Boys. Now you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's got to be a dream come true.
It's beyond that, man. It's the best. Like, honestly, if back at that moment, you know, in high school when I fell in love with Smallville, you know, if I knew what I was going to be doing or doing now,
You've been thrilled.
I would have been, that was like dream come true, like over the moon.
I think that is the same mentality you should have if you do something that doesn't do well. If it bombs, because like one of my friends said, he did a movie and he directed it and it bombed and he was the lead in it. And I said, "You're right." He's like, you know, if I told my 12-year-old self that I was going to be in a big Hollywood movie and I was going to direct it, that kid wouldn't say, "How much money did the movie make?"
No.
"Hey, were the reviews good?" The kid would have just been like, "Wow, I get to be in a movie. I get to direct a big movie." That's the inner child speaking. And those are the important things. It's like the work, you know, all those other things, you know, I mean, obviously they get in the way, but it's pretty epic both ways. Whether you do something great or you don't do something great, you're still doing something and you're still making something. So I think that's pretty cool. I love that you were a Smallville fan. I mean, you like Lex Luthor, right?
Yeah, of course, man. Like, a few things. Like, I feel like watching you guys was one of my first acting classes.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
And Glover, everyone.
Yeah, Glover was great too.
It
was all, you know, we're doing a rewatch podcast now.
Yeah.
It's called Talkville. And me and Tom and Ryan here. Yeah. And it's fun. It's because I'm watching it for the first time. And I'm like, but like some episodes I'm like really impressed by.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, okay, I get why people really like this. And I've never been a superhero fan. I'm like horror and documentaries. Yeah. You notice the lights dim here and there? It's like Halloween shit, man.
So maybe a ghost in this house?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
there might be. It's my little castle in the hills. It could be haunted. Those puppets are going to come to life that I have up there.
That is. No, those are cool puppets.
puppets.
I could take those puppets can come to life. That's okay.
You think? You don't mind?
No. Those are friendly.
Those are friendly puppets.
Yeah.
Inside of You is brought to you by Masterclass. Guys, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Ryan, Masterclass is dope. I mean, look, if you're struggling with gift ideas, just picture the celebrity your loved one wished they could hang out with, like Martha Stewart, Judd Apatow for comedy, Amy Poehler, the list goes on. That's what makes Masterclass such a perfect gift. Don't just give your loved ones something they want. Give them something they want to be. With Masterclass, they can finally become a better cook, writer, entrepreneur, or artist like they've always wanted. That's the gift of Masterclass. Masterclass is the only streaming platform where you can learn and grow with over 200 plus of the world's best. That's why Wirecutter calls it an invaluable gift.
Gift unlimited learning. Learn from any Masterclass instructor anywhere on a smartphone, computer, smart TV, or even in audio mode.
Help them use improv to overcome fears with Amy Poehler, craft a stand-up set with Judd Apatow, or turn passion into achievements with cultural icon Martha Stewart. And the classes really make a difference. 88% of members feel that Masterclass made a positive impact on their lives. It's really amazing. And what's even better, Ryan, there's no risk. Every new membership comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. What are you waiting for? If you don't like it, money back. Come on. Give your loved ones a year of learning with Masterclass. Masterclass always has great offers during the holidays, sometimes up to as much as 50% off. Head over to masterclass.com/inside for the current offer. That's up to 50% off at masterclass.com/inside. Masterclass.com/inside. Inside of You is brought to you by Rocket Money. I'm just here to tell you that Rocket Money is going to save you money. And that's just what they do. You know those unwanted subscriptions, guys? You know those, you want to watch a show and it's on some platform called Fubi. And then you're like, I'll just cancel it. But you forget and you watch the show and then it ends. And then 6 months later, you owe $600. And you're like, how did that happen? Well, Rocket Money is here to help you and make sure that you don't do that. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
See all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For any you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them with just a few taps.
Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going.
Get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're going close to over budget.
The new goals feature automatically saves money for you without you having to think about it. Whether your goal is to pay off credit card debt, put away money for a house, or just build your savings, Rocket Money makes it easy. And tell them what they'll do. This is crazy, Ryan.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lowering your bills for you, sometimes by up to 20%.
Wow.
They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with the customer service.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/inside. That's rocketmoney.com/inside. rocketmoney.com/inside. The Boys. Did you audition?
Yeah,
How many times?
once.
One time.
Actually, no, wait, twice. So the first audition was for the Deep. And like my buddy Anthony, in Vancouver, he was like, "Yo, you gotta ask your manager to go out for this. Like, I think you'd love it, right?" And so I did, and I thought to myself,
You owe him.
I do.
If he didn't say that, you would have never even thought about it.
It's not that; it's I wouldn't have been as prepared for the next audition.
Gotcha.
And so I did it. And I'm like, oh, this would be cool if this worked out, but I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. So I did it, didn't hear anything. And I had that whole year, I just wanted to go down to LA for the first time and like try it out.
You hadn't been?
No, I hadn't.
Just in Toronto?
At that point, I was in
Vancouver, which is
Vancouver.
pretty hip for the industry, but it's still not LA.
It's not. Like you can go so far.
You can go so far.
Go so far.
Yeah, you're not going to get a lead role.
No. And so I had wanted so badly that
you
year.
could. I don't want to make it sound
you're right.
like
There's no
can't.
chance.
But I'm just saying that most of them are like movies that are coming up there to film, and they're looking for other characters.
Most lead roles are cast out of LA.
Right,
you
right,
need
right.
LA rep. And
Gotcha.
And there is like you can be a Canadian and get a lead role. It's
Sure.
it's just much rarer, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And so that entire year I just wanted to like book enough so I could come down and go to LA and just be there for a few months and just try it out, right? So I didn't get that. I came so close on a TV movie that would have given me enough to go down, and the director and the producers were like, "You're a top choice. We want you. You're going to hear from us in a couple of days." I just didn't hear.
Oh, I hate when they do that.
And I was.
How about call you anyway and just say sorry?
Yeah, it was.
If you say you're going to hear from us, at least call and say, hey.
Yeah, for me, I knew they were interested. It was more the network. And so because you get so close, that's
so many cooks.
That's what's tough about it.
So many cooks in the kitchen.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was so down on myself. I was just like, damn, like I really want to do this. And I didn't accomplish my goal. And then I went on vacation with my family, and I was talking with my dad, and he was like, yeah, so how are you feeling about this year? I'm like, I feel like I failed at what I was trying to do or what I wanted to do. And he's like, no, you did all this good stuff. Like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, yes, I get that. But right now, I'm in the place where I'm feeling this. And I have to let myself feel this emotion and like feel where I'm at. And I did. And as I was kind of giving myself the space to feel that, this audition for Black Noir came in. And I was like, oh, I already kind of did this, because it was a deep scene and an A-Train scene. So I did one of the scenes already.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just gave myself time over the vacation to feel what I was feeling, to like kind of let that pass through me. And then when I came back, I taped it. And
so it was on tape.
Yeah.
You didn't even audition in front of producers. Nobody does anymore.
No. Yeah, it was on tape, you know?
And
I was like waiting to hear, you know, it's like you audition and some you really want, you're just like on pins and needles.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And
oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
And I think it was about a week. It was January 2nd or 3rd. Between I think around the 3rd that I heard back.
Your agent called you.
I guess so. Yeah.
Were you just floored?
I was many things. I was over the moon, and I was also like, what's happening? What's going on? Like, what am I doing? You know, like this is an amazing role, but like, what do they want me to do? You know, and my biggest fear, because Black Noir, a silent character, you don't see his face,
which is harder for an actor.
Yeah.
You have to have presence and be listening and thinking and looking and not saying anything. It's what my acting coach or one of my mentors in college, there's a scene where I don't say a word. I go, I sit in a chair. I go, do I have to be in the scene? He goes, it's a play and you're part of the, I'm like, well, I have nothing to say. He's like, no, you have everything to say. You just choose not to say it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that's kind of a little cliche and saying, like, you know, in the industry, but it's true. And that's a tough thing. So was that tough for you? And you probably wanted lines, right?
Oh yeah, who doesn't? But I think for me, it was the biggest question is, what do they want from me? Because I was scared they just wanted me to just stand there and do nothing. Like that was my biggest fear. You know, I think there's a line in season 4 where Noir's like, you didn't hire me to stand around like a fucking oak tree. And that was my fear. Like I was scared of,
and that's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
That's like, because that's your fear. Yeah, what your fear was for the role. And now he says that. Yeah, because he talks more. He started to talk more, right?
Yeah, he does. You know, but for me, as long as I could express myself with my body, I was okay. As long as I could tell a story, it did like, no lines, that's fine. But like, let me tell a story through my body. And they did that, you know? And so it's been phenomenal. But to circle back before we go on, I think if I hadn't let myself be in that down place, not of like wallowing, but just like being with what I was feeling in that moment, I wouldn't have been as present as I needed to
you wouldn't have been as ready.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be ready.
As ready and as open and as there to give the audition that I needed to give to get that.
How many seasons did you do?
We're going into 5.
Going into 5.
Yeah.
This will be your 5th season.
Yeah.
I mean, are they paying you now?
They're paying us. They're paying us.
In the beginning, they probably weren't paying you much.
I mean, I think that's a typical experience.
I always like to ask those questions. Are they paying you?
I think it's
because you know, especially if you're Canadian, they take advantage.
Oh yeah, I mean,
bro. Yeah.
Like, everyone. I don't want to say everyone knows the deal, but you know, it's your first show. You know, and you look.
It's not about the money in the beginning, but it becomes. I'm telling you, as an actor, it's like, okay, here's the deal. Mm-hmm. For me, it's not about the money. It's about the work. But if something becomes a success, and is making money, you're an integral part of that, and you deserve to make more money. Like, I don't care if you work at fucking Target.
Yeah.
If you're there and you're building up sales and customers are coming in because they want to see you, there's something there that you're important. And it's just, you know, so that's why I always say that stuff. But you're going into season 5. Yeah. And how many episodes do you do typically?
8.
Are they difficult to shoot?
I mean, I would say no. You know, it's a really well-run production, you know, from top down, you know, professional, great people, great crew. We have an amazing showrunner. Amazon is amazing. Sony's amazing. So it's an easy thing to be a part of because everyone's so professional, so top-notch that I'm like, obviously there are difficult days because like you're doing something hard, right? So it's gonna take a lot out of you. But as far as the process, I think it runs as well as it can.
What's your favorite boys moment thus far in the series?
God damn.
One of your favorite. Now it doesn't have to be. Well, first your favorite moment, and then it'll be your favorite moment as Black Noir.
That's so hard, man, because there's so many.
What's the one scene you went, holy shit?
I think in season 1, where Homelander lets the plane crash. I think that's when there's the turn, and we're like, we're in a different show than we thought we were in. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about your moment?
For me, I think the quintessential Black Noir moment, because there are 2 Black Noirs now. There's OG Noir and there's New Noir.
Right.
Right. And for OG Noir, it's season 2, where he goes into this house, he decapitates a soup. And then as he's walking out, he sees the soup's scared son and like tries to comfort him with a bunny rabbit. And he makes a stuffed bunny dance. And that's like the quintessential moment of that character for me.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. And as far as New Noir,
I gotta catch up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm way back.
That's okay.
I don't have any time.
I feel you.
But I'm gonna watch it because of you.
You'll get there. Oh,
I'll
thank you.
get there. But thanks for telling me the scene that I haven't seen.
I'll
forget.
Yeah, you'll forget, and then you'll see it for the first time, and the whole season, like every.
And they're doing a
season.
spinoff with Jensen.
Yeah.
Are you going to be a part of that?
No, because that's a prequel, right? So
it's
goes.
A prequel.
It's like it's not
shave and look
anyone.
younger.
I mean, but this Noir, it'd be the old Noir if anything,
right.
But it's it goes way back, so it's like different times, different decades,
right? Who makes you laugh on set more than anybody?
Oh man, I think
there's got to be a joker on set.
I mean. Yeah, I think Anthony is a joker. Like he likes to joke a lot.
Who's the most serious?
Anthony.
He's serious and the most funny?
Yeah,
he's
really
both.
Is. He really, yeah.
Who's the most? I don't give a shit. I'm just chilling. I got this. Let's do it. Moving on.
I don't know.
What's his name? The older guy.
Carl.
He seems like he'd be just like, yeah, let's do it. All right, great.
Yeah, he's, but here's the thing. I'm not in a lot of scenes with Carl.
Yeah, true.
Because we're
the separate,
different worlds. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. But what about?
I feel like Anthony's got to be a lot like you in a lot of ways. He's got to play this serious villain, and he has to like let loose somehow, like you did on set.
Yeah, it's true because I have to play that. Yeah, but the difference is I'm sort of nice at first, and I gradually decline. He's showing
from the jump.
He's showing his true colors and hiding his true colors at the same time.
Yeah,
I didn't show my true colors for quite some time.
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess so. Who have you noticed that the biggest they have? Wow, look at who they've become. Like stretched as an actor, like wow, from the beginning to now. Besides you, you're probably watching yourself,
just patting myself on the back.
Well, no, but you're thinking I've come a long way.
Well, yeah. I think everyone is just so talented that like it's for me, their work has been top notch. From the get go. So it's not like I'm not like looking at anyone being like, oh man, this person's really improved. Everyone's amazing. And it's just like a privilege and a joy to get to work with these people who are also good people, And,
is this season aired already?
Season 4 came out, and so we're about to start shooting for season 5.
Right, so 4 is already out.
Yeah.
What's the biggest moment in season 4 that you think fans were just like over the moon, like holy shit moment?
There's a human centipede moment. There's there's a sex dungeon moment.
All right, don't tell me anymore. Now, is that with Jensen?
No, it's not. I mean,
Jensen
there's another whole thing with Jensen in season 3.
But season 5,
yeah,
I'm sure they've had a meeting with you and told you kind of what we're doing.
We are going to have that soon. So we haven't had it yet.
Do you have any ideas of what's going to happen?
I mean, I have some ideas,
but you can't share them.
I can't say it. I'm excited though. I'm very excited.
And will this be the last season?
It will be.
This will be the last season. How does that make you feel when they told you that?
I just had a meeting, the other day, and we're talking about those things, and it's just starting to hit me. We know we're always going to be in each other's lives, as friends. So that part is okay. But at the same time, when something amazing ends, you start to feel it, and I didn't think
you get emotional at the end.
Yeah. And I this whole time I'm like, oh no, like we understand it's a good time to wrap it up at a high point. Look, if we had season 6, would I be complaining? No. Would most of us be complaining? No. But at the same time, Eric is committed to telling a great story and not prolonging it longer than it needs to go. And from that level, we respect that and we're on board with it. So if this is where he feels like we got to end it, like we're like, cool, let's do it.
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think the prequel, they're going to do some fast forwards.
Yeah.
And you're going to see, they're going to have you come back. They're going to have different moments where they go, this is the future.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
I mean, I don't see
unless
it,
this takes place in 1812.
I mean, it's far back. I don't know if I can say what decade exactly, but it's far enough back.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. For some, wrapping up in a blanket with a mug of hot chocolate or watching a movie with family is the best way to spend the month of December. However you spend the holidays, we want you to remember to take some time for you this holiday season and find some comfort. Therapy is a great way to bring yourself some comfort that never goes away, even when the seasons change. Therapy from BetterHelp is helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And it isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I think some people freak out, like, what if I don't like my therapist? What do I do? You just change them. It's that easy. You don't have to get all weird about it. Find comfort this December with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/inside today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/inside.
The title of the book, The Talented Farter.
Yes.
That's been a theme.
Never.
This is a wonderful story about a little boy whose only gift, his only real talent is tooting. He can make his toot sound like everything you hear in everyday life. So little Michael loved Halloween, but nothing frightened his friends more than when Michael would stink up a good scare. Can you hear that?
Oh, I heard it.
It is a lovely story, and it's beautifully illustrated by my friend Heath, and Simon & Schuster's putting it out. It's going to be in tons of bookstores and available on Amazon. I'm so proud of it.
I mean, you've done so many like shows that are big. iZombie and Supernatural, and you worked with Jensen.
Yeah.
And that's where you first met him?
No, actually, I met him. I was just like walking down the street in Vancouver, and I pulled up to a bar, and he was in the bar. And I just started talking to him, and this was like, I just
And he was
moved.
nice?
He was nice. He gave me the time of day. He gave me advice. We talked about acting, and it was cool for me at that moment, being a fan of Smallville and then like being in Vancouver and running into Jensen from like the first season. I fell in love with the show. And so he gave me that time of day. And then I didn't work with him on Supernatural, but I saw him on set and we talked there. And then I remember it was 2020 at a Golden Globes party.
I think you can say Golden Corral.
I don't even. What is that? What is that?
It's just a restaurant in the Midwest that people go to for like the early bird special and like. True. Anyway, go ahead. Golden Globes.
And he was like, "Yeah, like I've been doing Supernatural for so long, like I want to jump into something else, And I'm like, I'm in my head, I'm like, Eric would probably love to have you on the boards, And lo and behold, they were already talking about it. And then he came on the show, and he, when I got the news he was going to be in the show, I was so excited. And I think Eric sent us an email letting us know, and he was like, Jensen's coming. He's a really good guy. And in my head, I'm like, he is a really good guy.
He busted his ass in that audition. He told me he really did everything to get that part, everything he could.
Yeah.
But he's a great guy. He deserves it all. Zion Miller and Ginny and Georgia.
Yeah.
How many seasons have you done?
We just finished season 3.
And you've been in all seasons.
Yeah, I came in at the end of season 1.
Right.
And then, I've been on in season 2.
Now tell me what Ginny and Georgia is about.
Ginny and Georgia is...
because I haven't seen it.
So
I want to know. So tell the audience.
It's a story about a mother and a daughter. And the mother's trying to escape her past. And they wind up in, a small town. And they set up roots. And the daughter is coming of age, you know, just like navigating her way in the world. And the mother's past slowly starts to catch up with her as she establishes her new life in this town.
She had a dark past.
A bit dark, you could say. Yep.
So where do we watch that?
Netflix.
That's Netflix too.
Or Amazon. The Boys is Amazon.
Oh, Boys is Amazon.
Yeah.
This is Netflix.
Yeah.
Is he getting a good response?
Yeah, people love it.
People love it?
Yeah.
Do you get noticed for that?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All the time people come up to you.
A good bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this more demographically speaking? Is it like a women love the show?
Yeah, women more.
Do men love the show too?
I know guys who like it, and I think predominantly, you know, women will be like, "Hey, you're from the show," but I've had guys come up and be like, "Oh, you're from Ginny and Georgia," you know. So yeah, I know a lot of guys.
And where does that film?
Toronto.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you filmed in Toronto. You filmed in Vancouver. Boys in Vancouver.
No, Boys in Toronto.
Boys in Toronto. I mean, you've lucked out.
I really have. Yeah.
Just wait till you do a series in like Albuquerque. You're gonna be like, "Fuck, man, what happened?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The older you get too, it's like now they're like, "There's series. It's this." I'm like, "Oh, where's the film?" They're like, "Maine." I'm like, "No, thanks."
No.
You know. I mean, look, you're young. What are you? 32?
35.
35.
Yeah.
Big hockey fan because you live in Canada.
You know,
I'm a diehard Ranger fan.
Hockey was my first sport, actually. I played it, I was probably like 5'6" not seriously, but just like that's for one of the first sports I started playing. And then I transitioned into other ones. But I don't watch a lot of hockey myself, no.
What do you, where do you see yourself? Who do you want to work with? Like, obviously you've worked with great people, but like in your head, like, I want to work with, like, is it De Niro? Who is it that you're like, I idolize this person. I want to be I want to be on this set working with these people.
I mean, Denzel.
I've
worked with his wife, you know, Pauletta.
No, there's an in. You should have said something.
Yeah. You know what's so, I guess, interesting about that, but when she spoke, you know, when she speaks, it's like wisdom comes out of her mouth. It's just like it just resonates.
No, that's what happens with him when he speaks. It's like usually it's like he has something. You're like, wow.
Yeah. And
like,
it's not even always like the specific thing they're saying. It's how they're saying it. You can just tell they know things.
I've told that story, right? When I met Denzel. I haven't told that many times though.
Tell it again.
Maybe twice.
No,
I met him and I just said, "Oh my God, Mr. Washington, Denzel, I'm an actor. You have any advice for me?" He's like, "Yeah, never go to anyone else's premiere. Only go to your own."
Wow.
I go, "Why?" You don't need to be at that shit. If you're not in it, you don't need to be there.
You go to too many premieres when.
And then 6 months later, I was doing press for my movie, this movie Urban Legend.
Yeah.
And I was at this hotel and I saw him. I go, "Mr. Washington." So he turns around and goes, "Yeah." I go, "Hey, you gave me advice about 6 months ago." He goes, "What'd I say?" And I said, "You said don't go to anyone else's premiere. Just go to your own." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I know I'd say that." And I go, "Well, guess what? Tonight I'm going to my premiere." He goes, all right. He gives me a shake and he goes, "Guess what?" I go, "What?" He goes, "I'm not." And he gave me a wink and walked off. But I'm like, but I listened to it. I was like, I don't need, like, I'm always invited to people's premieres. And if unless it's a really close friend or it's my own, I don't have business going there. It's like, I don't need to go, I'm not going to go to a premiere just to show up. Like, "Hey, they want you to go to this premiere." Who? These producers. I don't know them. I don't do it. I don't do that anymore.
I've been working in Canada so much that like I'm barely down here right now. You know, like I'm just.
It's different then.
Yeah,
it's different than always going to premieres because there's so many premieres all the time.
Yeah, so that I like being in LA, I can see the difference. You know?
All right, this is called Shit Talking with Nathan Mitchell. These are my top. You know this because you listen.
Yeah.
Top tier patrons, patreon.com/inside. Thanks for the support. We need you. And these are questions. This doesn't have to be rapid fire, but Little Lisa says, "What are you most thankful for?"
My family and the good people in my life. You know, because you can have all the success in the world, right? But if you don't have people to share it with, what does it matter?
Yeah.
Right. And so my friends, you know, the people I walk through life with, you know, that's who I'm most thankful for.
I keep thinking about when you were going through a tough time on that vacation and your dad said, like, he's like, no, it's good. You're all right. You know, and he's trying to, pump you up. And I'm just like, God, I never had that.
Oh.
Just never. Like that moment,
Yeah.
never had it. Hey, you're okay. You're doing a good job. You're nothing. So it's so weird to hear that. It's amazing how that sticks with me. That little thing.
Yeah.
And that goes so far. I mean, it's so important. It's just vital, I think, for parents listening to this episode to just listen to your kids and support them and comfort them. The world is tough. Their developmental stages they depend on you. And if you don't care, if you don't listen, if you don't act, I don't know. I just feel like it's vital.
Yeah.
And you had that.
Yeah.
You had somebody to turn to.
Yeah, both parents, like they were
that's
phenomenal.
That is beautiful. Jessica B, what is the last thing you did for the first time?
Whoa, what? Okay, God.
That should be your line in a movie. And it's the last thing you did
for the first time. Oh, man. Also,
what do you think, Ryan?
I don't have a fantastic memory.
I'm thinking too, Ryan.
Yeah. What did I do
the last thing he
week?
did for the first time is come to a convention, a Smallville convention.
Oh, okay.
That was the last thing you did for the first time.
Yeah. Also just New Jersey.
Well,
New Jersey.
Maybe? No, I've never done a live podcast before. I've never done an in-person podcast.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
This is the first one?
This is the first one.
Well, we've been talking about it for a long effing time.
I know.
You came over to a party I had.
Yeah.
And I was like, I immediately was drawn to you. I just loved your disposition. You're just a cool dude. And I'm not saying cool as in like cool. I'm saying you're just a genuine person. You're just easy to hang out with. And I was like, I like this guy. And on top of it, you're talented and work a ton. And so I've been trying to get you on here. So
hey, listen, man, I've been trying to come down.
I know, and you live far away.
Yeah, just work schedule.
When are you going back?
I'm going back very soon. I'm only here for like a few days. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leanne, if you could only describe yourself using one word, what would it be and why?
Chill.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. Because I give a fuck, but I also don't give a fuck.
I would say for me it'd be two words.
Yeah.
Neurotically kind.
Oh wait, sorry. How
do you feel about that?
No, sorry. I thought you were trying to describe me like that. I'm like, no, that's you.
That's me.
Yeah.
Not you. A little. I can be really chill.
Yeah.
And I can be neurotic. And I could be hyper focused and completely unfocused. I'm a lot of things. I mean, one word to describe yourself. You say chill.
Yeah.
I mean, that fits for you. I'm just thinking, what word? Ryan, what would fit you? I would say chill.
Deceptively chill.
Deceptively. Fair.
Creative. I'm creative.
You struck me as when I met you at Niagara Falls, like you just have this like joyful, youthful disposition.
That's true.
You're just joking around, having fun. And I'm like, I want to be like you when I'm older. Like keeping that youthful spirit.
I just want to have fun. I insist on fun. Yeah. I insist on kindness and fun in my life. Kelly S., which do you enjoy more, acting or the martial arts?
Ooh. Oh, wow.
It's gotta be acting, probably.
Yeah, acting. That's, when I was doing martial arts, I had won a national championship, like a junior national sparring championship when I was younger. And I was fairly, successful at it, but it wasn't giving me an emotional fulfillment. It was like you go into the ring, you fight, you win, sometimes you lose, but like, even when I won, I wasn't getting this, some like inner need met. And that's part of what encouraged me to go closer towards acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Bob K., how do you deal with regret?
How do you,
I don't.
I still regret so much. Not really. I think you have to make peace with what's happened in the past, with the things you didn't do that you wish you did, or did that you wish you didn't. and you have to accept it
and own up.
Yeah, own up to it. Absolutely,
Own up to it.
Yeah,
it's easy to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." It's so much easier to say, "I'm sorry, you're right," than to argue with someone or be a jerk about it. It's easier to say, "Hey, my bad." My bad.
If only other people felt the same way.
But you know what? That's not everybody. All you can do is look out for yourself.
Yeah.
All right, this is a Smallville lunchbox for you. We're gonna do.
So sweet. I love it.
You can cut the noise out of it.
Oh my God.
Should I put 2, Nathan?
Yeah, do it. Yo, I would be.
There you go.
I would be flipping out, like 17-year-old me. Whoa,
I'm on the back too. Look,
bro. Yeah.
You want me to sign that too?
I mean, you can't. Sure, do it.
I find it charming as hell,
dude.
I love it. I'm honored.
Like that, as you know from everything, it was such a special show.
It was, man. I'm very lucky. I'm lucky that I'm able to, still, meet the fans, and it just got legs. People love the show, and it's exciting. So, dude, this has been awesome. I loved having you on here. Ginny and Georgia on Netflix.
Yep.
The Boys season 5. Well, season 4 you could watch right now on Amazon.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to go and watch The Boys. This has been a blast, man. I love having you here. It's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, and continued success, my man.
Thank you, bro.
Nathan, thanks for coming on the podcast, man. That was pretty damn sweet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he mentioned Toronto in the intro. Speaking of Toronto, if you're in Toronto, go to Comedy Bar on Bloor Street.
Have you been there?
I have. It's fun. I'm wearing the sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah. If you're in Toronto.
I think there might be multiple locations now, but yeah, good time.
Yeah. I have filmed more in Toronto. Or not. Well, I filmed in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a movie in Canada. I've done a series for 7 years in Canada. I did another series for 2 years in Canada. I did another movie in Canada. It's like my second home. Hope you enjoyed the podcast today, guys. I really appreciate you. And remember, if you want to join Patreon and support this podcast, we really, really need you. So every little bit counts. And just go to Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you, and become a patron. And there's a lot of perks. The top tiers really help us out. They get boxes sent from me every couple months, and with a bunch of cool stuff and notes, and they get their names read off every podcast and lots more. And any little thing counts, any little bit counts. So patreon.com/inside you. And right now we are going to go to the top tier patrons and read their names because they rock. And that's all I have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This is an order of who joined first, apparently. So it could be wrong. Blame Bryce, not me. But Nancy D, Little Lisa, Yukiko, Brian H, Niko P, Rob L, Jason W, Sophie M, Raj C, Jennifer N, Stacey L, Jamal F, Janelle B, Mike, and Eldanzsupremo.
99 more, Santiago M, Maddie S, Kendrick F, Belinda N, Dave H,
Dave Hole,
Brad D, Ray H, Tabitha T, Tom N, Talia M, Betsy D, Rhiannon C, Michelle A, Jeremy C, Eugene and Leah, Eugia,
The Salty Ham, Mel S, Eric H, Oracle, Amanda R, William K, Kevin E, Jor L, Jammin J, Leanne J, Luna R, Mike F, Jules M, Jessica B, Kaylee J, Charlene A, Marion Louise L. I think I just sent you a box. Romeo the Band, Frank B, Jen T, sent you a box. April R, Randy S, Claudia, Rachel D, Jen, Carolina Girl.
Nick W, Stephanie Evan or Stefan, Charlene A, Don G, Jenny B 76, Tina E, NG Tracy, Keith B, Heather and Greg,
Grather,
Ellie K, Elizabeth L, Ben B, Jammin,
Pierre C, Sultan, just sent you a box too, I believe. Ingrid C, Christina S, Brandon C, Murphy C, Mrs. Lex Luthor, Dave T, Dave L, don't forget Dave L. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for being a patron, and thanks for being here today with us and joining us. Another good interview. I mean, I'm really digging these interviews. I hope I could do this forever because I like talking to people and getting inside of them.
Yeah.
So I hope people continue to listen to the podcast. That's all you can ask for. Yeah. When they stop listening, and you got to say, well, what do I got to do next? I guess I could just keep doing them for free. Just not work. Anyway, from the Hollywood Hills in Hollywood, California, I am Michael Rosenbaum.
He seemed really into the idea of not working.
Yes.
I'm Ryan Tazen, too.
Little wave to the camera. We love you guys. Thanks for always being here. You know who you are. Be good to yourself. We'll see you next week.